Hello there. I'm so glad that you have purchased the personality profile test. And I'm here to help you understand it and walk you through it a little bit. It's a lot of information. So I hope this will make it simpler and more understandable for you. So I have one of those tests here with me. And on the front page, you'll see my logo and your name, and under it, your style. And it will have 1, 2, or 3 letters, which correspond to the D, the I, the S, or the C, and in the order that that you tested in. How much of the D, how much of the I, the S, or the C. And so let's look at it together. So as you open it up, there's an introduction that you can read. And then at the top of page 4, then there is a section on D, I, S, and C, explaining what each of those letters means. So the D stands for dominant, and they seek control. They like administration, leadership, and determination. They are challenged in the area of impatience, insensitivity, and being poor listeners. They dislike inefficiency, indecision, and they make their decisions very decisively. The I stands for influencing, and they seek recognition. Their strengths are in persuading, enthusiasm, entertaining. Their challenges are in the area of lack of detail, short attention span, low follow through. They don't like routine or complexity, and they make their decisions spontaneously. The S stands for steady, and they seek acceptance. They have strengths in listening, teamwork, follow through, and they can be oversensitive, slow to begin, or dislike change. They do not like insensitivity or impatience, and they make their decisions by conferring. Now, the C stands for compliant in this test. I actually prefer the word conscientious because I believe that's a little more descriptive of this personality type. The C seeks accuracy. They have strengths in planning, systems, and orchestration. They can be challenged in the area of perfectionism, being critical, especially of themselves, or unresponsive. They don't like disorganization or impropriety, and they make their decisions methodically. So that's a quick definition of each of those categories. Now right below that, you will see 3 graphs. The first graph represents who you are in public. The second is you when you're under pressure or stress. And the third is you perceive yourself. And it's actually the average of the first 2 graphs. So you can read on the next page and the next couple pages about what that means exactly. But if your first and third are alike, they're similar graphs in the way they flow, then you are able to be pretty much who you are when you're in public, at work, with people. And that's a good thing. If you are not doing that, if your first graph is very different from your third graph, then you're probably in a period of stress and hopefully change, because you can choose to change when you're under pressure. It's a great motivator. But the second one, there's not a lot of opportunity for change with it because it's just your instinct, your instinctive response to pressure. And it kind of shows you what goes up and what goes down when you're under pressure. So I encourage you to really read that well and get a good understanding of what it is that it says about you and where you are right now. And the next page says description, understanding your style at the top. And this is a general description of your personality type. The little boxes on the right are the summary, and then the bigger explanation is on the main page there. And I think that's a really good page for you to study a little bit. The next is your historical character match. And I think this is very interesting. There's a lot of different historical figures that you can be like, and they select 2 of them that have your personality type. You could be like Abraham. You could be like Booker T. Washington. You could be like Columbus. You could be like Mother Teresa. All of those are some of the historical figures that are used in this test. And it's interesting to read about them and how they use those particular strengths in their lives. Now the next page is page 9. Now sometimes the page numbers will be different according to printers and different things that I don't have control over, but it says at the top, communicating with your style, whatever your style is, it'll have that name. And this to me is very helpful in understanding your greatest fear, understanding what you really want and what makes you thrive, and what you need from people when they communicate with you. And I find this is a very helpful page for people to understand what they need from others and to be able to ask for what they need. And that's really a quality of maturity, is being able to ask for what you need, or what will be better for you. You can say, it's not helpful for me when you say things this way. If you could do this, it would make my life a lot easier. I would be a lot happier. So it can be helpful in a close relationship. It can be helpful in family. It can be helpful with friends. It can be helpful at work, wherever you communicate, which is pretty much everywhere. This is the kind of thing that can help you understand yourself a little better and how to express yourself a little better in asking for what you need. Now, there's a lot of pages here on communication, and I let people really study this on their own rather than going through it, because there's a lot, and it's all about understanding how you interact as a leader, how you interact with other personality styles. So if you're an S, how you interact with other S's, with I's, with D's, with C's. So that will help you understand how to communicate with other personality types that you most certainly will run into in your life. And then going on to the career match, it's on page 19 in this test that I'm holding right now. It gives you your best and sometimes your second best if you have a couple of strong personality characteristics. So if you're an S and a C, it will have S and C types of careers that are a good match for you. So it's a very good list to go down through and circle the ones that stand out to you. And maybe do some research if you're contemplating, if you're a young person contemplating what career to go into. That's a good, helpful way to research it. Just look through this list and then take it from there. If you're contemplating a job change, this is helpful to look and see what the best jobs are for your personality type. Okay, moving on. We move into a biblical overview. So I think this is a good, helpful section for people who value the Bible and who believe that it is the source for how we live our lives, and explains the importance of understanding your personality from a biblical perspective. And then it gives you your Bible character matches. So I am looking at page, let me get my finger there for you. This is on page 23 of this test. Biblical insights, your style in the Bible. It says at the top, and the first paragraphs will have a description of your most dominant personality type. So if you're an S, it will talk about people that are in the Bible who carry the S characteristics. And then below that, there will be 4 other Bible characters who have your exact match. So let's see, say you're an SC. It will have the people in the Bible that demonstrate your particular style. and scriptures for you to read and look at those stories and see if you find yourself in those stories in a new way, perhaps. And then the rest of the test is about exercises you can do with other people to get their feedback on how you relate with them and what your strengths are and maybe some of your weaknesses. So that helps you if you want to do that with another person. So I just wanted to make sure that you had a little help walking through this. It's a lot of pages that you get in results from taking the test, and hopefully you will get some good benefit from this. All right. Bye-bye. Have a great day.